And now we're closing out with this month's book club. So there's been a lot happening over the last month or so around Paramount Global, and we've withheld from talking about it because A, it hasn't quite panned out, but B, this month's book club is certainly centered around the story.
Yes.
So let's get stuck into it, Ren. Firstly, what was the book?
So the book was Unscripted, The Epic Battle for a Media Empire and the Redstone Family Legacy by James B. Stewart and Rachel Abrams. So all about Paramount Global. So what this book covers, it's the story of Sumner Redstone, who inherited his family's movie cinema chain, National Amusements.
Okay.
Made that a massive global success, but in the process also created Viacom CBS. Now, Viacom CBS owned Nickelodeon, the Comedy Channel, CBS, which is like a big network over in the US, MTV, and then also all of Paramount Global and Paramount's movie studios. So massive. He was like a big media player in the era of like the 80s, like Rupert Murdoch and John C. Malone and like all those big cable and media titans. Sumner Redstone was a big name in that space. And so this book doesn't cover that, but it covers Sumner as an old man and the fight for the billionaire's estate between his family, the leaders of his businesses, and his girlfriends. And yes, girlfriends plural. So Viacom CBS, which is now Paramount Global, owns a number of the big media properties that we're all familiar with today. But importantly for us, it's not their big media properties. It's one of their smaller media properties. They own Channel 10.
Yes.
The Australian free-to-air TV network.
God, what an asset.
I know. And it's newsworthy because Shari Redstone, so Sumner's daughter, is currently negotiating to sell Paramount Global to Skydance, which is a company owned by Larry Ellison's son. Larry Ellison, the fifth richest man in the world, co-founder of Oracle. His son is looking to buy Paramount Global and Channel 10 for a price which is far less than $26 billion, which was offered by private equity giant Apollo, which has people up in arms.
Yeah.
But Bryce, none of this is included in the book.
Okay, good.
My overall takeaway of this book, it is interesting, salacious, and I learned nothing about business.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just a story.
Dude, it was so
just a good story.
It made me really sad.
Oh, right.
Well, like not like crying sad, but kind of just like,
where's the world coming to?
no, just like this sucks. Like,
oh, right.
Everyone in this book sucks.
Okay.
I hate every character involved. So the first half of the book is about Sumner falling out with his family.
Okay.
So Shari, and then he has a son as well, falling out with them, losing touch with them. He has a series of girlfriends who he's a pig.
Yeah.
He's just a piece. Series of girlfriends, showering them with like literally millions of dollars and Viacom stock and like all this stuff. But he's just like, like he would have got Me Too'd if he was.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it turns into this story of elder abuse where two of his live-in girlfriends basically isolate this 80 and 90-year-old man from the rest of his family, convince them that his family is all out to get him and don't love him, and then basically convince him to put them, the two girlfriends and their families, in his will, and basically they make a play to try and take over his media empire. But it's just depressing elder abuse. They just abuse this old man. It's sad.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's the first half of the book. In the end, one of the girlfriends has like a secret relationship on the side, and that comes out, and then she gets booted, then the other girlfriend gets booted, and Shari, the daughter, comes in and like wins the battle and takes back control. And that's the first half of the book. And at that point I thought, is this book done? But no, it's not done, because it gets even worse. Because then the book is about Shari taking control of the media empire.
Right.
So at one stage, the company got split in two. So there's Viacom, which is Paramount and a lot of the cable channels, MTV, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, and then CBS, the TV network. And so Shari then has a battle with both of the boards, and both of the business leaders want to take control and want to remain in control of these companies. Shari wants to take control. A lot of maneuvering. Like, the one thing you learn about business is how important boards are relative to CEOs, and how much a board can be focused not on company fundamentals and like battles of personality like clicky. It is anyway.
Schoolyard stuff.
But then, so Shari wins the battle for the Viacom board, and then it's about the battle for the CBS board, and that's like the last third of the book. Les Moonves he was one of the most powerful and influential men in Hollywood. He was like the third highest paid person in Hollywood. He was an actor in his own right. Then he became the CEO of CBS, and his share price performance was amazing. Like, investors and the board all loved him because he had an incredible business track record. But then in case you didn't hate all these characters enough, then the last third of this book is about Les Moonves getting Me Too.
Oh my God.
And like all of these sexual assault allegations coming out against him, and like just terrible story after terrible story, and how he tried to cover it up, and then how Shari was trying to figure it out, and how the like Ronan Farrow and the media were getting a whiff of it. And then the book ends with it all coming out about him, and him being disgraced and leaving. And you're kind of left with this bitter taste in your mouth where Shari ends up controlling the empire. Sumner dies towards the end of the book, but he's kind of been an invalid for most of the book. And you're just like,
what happened?
All these people suck.
What a roller coaster. Damn. Well, it had good potential, and I think the story surrounding it is certainly interesting currently with what's going on.
I mean, look, it's a really interesting story.
Yeah,
but don't read it if you want to learn about investing in media businesses.
Business lessons. Well, we'll certainly keep you updated with what is going on and how things pan out for the Paramount Global Skydance offer. But what's next month?
Yeah, so next month, Jim Simons, who
Nice.
sadly died last month, the founder of Renaissance Capital, one of the best investors to ever do it. He really sparked this whole quantitative investing revolution. There's a book on his life. It's called The Man Who Solved the Market, How Jim Simons Launched the Quant Revolution. It's by Gregory Zuckerman, and that will be the book that we're reading for this month's book club. So jump in, read along, and we'll be back in a month to talk about it.
Love it. Well, I've heard this is a cracker, and time.
I mean,
time
feel
as
free
well.
to
I might actually read the Spark Notes. We'll see. But that brings us to the end of our episode today. If you would like to submit to Pimp My Portfolio, head to equitymates.com/contact. If you'd like to submit a book recommendation, same place as well, equitymates.com/contact. And make sure if you get a lot of value out of our show, then we would really appreciate it if you could leave us a 5-star rating and a review on the podcast app. It certainly goes a long way to helping us get in front of new equity mates to help them on their investing journey. But Ren, absolute pleasure to chat as always.
Yep.
You're off.
I am off.
You're off to Turkey for a few weeks, so we'll be
not to get a hair transplant.
So over the coming weeks, we have heaps of content. We've got a series on superannuation with Vanguard. We've also then got 8 stocks that we're going to deep dive into as part of our winter series, thanks to Superhero, plus more Ask an Advisor, buy or sells, and expert interviews coming up. So plenty will continue as Ren heads over for his hair transplant in Turkey. Always good to chat. We'll pick it up next episode.
Sounds good.